Welcome to the Great Americans. Number 5, Ulysses Grant, Civil War General and President. Grant was wrongly portrayed by historians and public opinion by the myth of the lost cause. His reputation has always been that of a drunkard and a corrupt president. This distorted view of the past points right to Trump and Trumpism today. The term "lost cause" originated in the aftermath of the American Civil War. It was a term used by many Southerners to describe their interpretation of the war and its aftermath. The Confederacy saw itself as the natural heir to the American Revolution. The lost cause myth was born out of the South's defeat in the Civil War and the destruction that it brought. The lost cause myth holds that secession had nothing to do with the institution of slavery. The myth also portrays slavery as a positive good. Andrew Johnson, Lincoln's successor, impeded the reconstruction of the defeated South and fought attempts to extend full rights of citizenship to formerly enslaved African Americans. Professor Elizabeth Varron said Johnson did more to extend the period of national strife than he did to heal the wounds of the war. With his election in 1868, now President Grant inherited from Andrew Johnson a nation in turmoil. Reconstruction would fall to Grant. His record would be far from perfect, but according to recent biographers, he deserves credit for several major achievements: implementation of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, the Civil Rights Amendments, at a time when the nation was still recovering from the trauma of the Civil War. He worked to knit together the frayed Union, lift up formerly enslaved people, and advocate a humane, if not enlightened, policy regarding Native Americans. Frederick Douglass said, at a time when the nation was still recovering from the trauma of Civil War, Grant worked to knit together the frayed Union, lift up formerly enslaved humans, and advocate humane policies, particularly with regard to indigenous Americans. Reconstruction turned out to be a brief period of multiracial democracy. The mythical leader of the mythical lost cause was General Robert E. Lee, seen here surrendering to Grant at Appomattox. Reality had little to do with the lost cause. Confederate Vice President Alexander Stephens, in what came to be known as the Cornerstone Speech, explicitly listed slavery, not some vague Northern aggression or states' rights, as the South's main dispute with the North. Statues, so much in the recent news, were raised to Lee in the South and North by groups such as the Daughters of the Confederacy, supporting the lost cause myth. Reconstruction ended suddenly in 1877 as federal troops were removed from the South. Jim Crow segregation ruled for 100 years. A second Ku Klux Klan, praised by President Woodrow Wilson, arose in the early 20th century. Wilson widely praised the racist movie Birth of a Nation and screened it in the White House. The new Ku Klux Klan demonstrated in Washington and formed chapters in both the North and the South. Well, please learn more about it. We have 3 books that will illustrate who really made America great and who didn't. From politicians to activists to civil rights leaders, we have a comprehensive, interesting list of people and their historical role in America. You can start reading these books for free. Follow the links in the description below this video. And please register to vote. It's the one essential tool of a democracy for any citizen. And once you're registered, get a friend, get your family, get your coworkers to do the same. And then make sure everybody votes in 2024. Don't make it our last election. Thank you for watching.